to start?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Good day. It is a pleasure to be here with you, and I appreciate you joining this webinar. I'm here sharing my experience with cancer, glioblastoma cancer, and it is only my experience, so I can't say it will work for you, but definitely there are something very useful that will be helping you. My name is Bahman Tohidi. We are doing this presentation on behalf of HydraGreen. I was born in northern Iran long time ago, 1959. I have a BSc in chemical engineering from Abadan Institute of Technology in Ahvaz, in Iran, and 8 years experience in National Iranian Oil Company, 3.5 years in the same university, Abadan Institute of Technology, and 4.5 years in the oil industry. I was a production engineer. My last job was production engineer of Ahvaz production unit 2. At the time was producing 250,000 barrels per day. In 1991, I joined Edinburgh University as a MSc student by research. And then after a year, I was being promoted to PhD, and then I became a staff at Edinburgh University, and my PhD became part-time. I graduated in 1995. In 2003, I became professor. I formed Hydrafact Limited as Edinburgh spin-out company in early 2006, and formed HydraGreen in 2021. So that's my background. My mottos in research is that I refer to Avicenna, which is a famous philosopher and also medical person. And he says that I know a lot. Yeah? My knowledge reached to a point that I realize I know very little. I am the same. The world is so complicated that, the more you learn, you realize that how little you know. But at the same time, I believe the saying of Narcissus Horso, another Persian poet, that if the three of human being get the fruit of knowledge, she can bring down the whole universe. So with knowledge, you can reach to level of God. So that's my belief. I need to say to you that I'm not a medical doctor. As you saw, I'm an engineer. In fact, I'm the patient. I am the patient and a student. I'm learning. I was diagnosed by glioblastoma brain cancer in 2016, and with a life expectancy of 6 to 24 months. And, you know, there was some series of events that basically I studied cancer, especially brain cancer, the causes and how to prevent it and how to cure it. I remember joking with my oncologist. He said that she said that I have many patients. The longest living person was 10 years, but normally 1.5. And I joke said that I'm going to break his record. I want to be surviving more than 10 years. So in this presentation, I report what I have done, trial and error. That resulted, I increased my life 3 to 4 times of what they told me. And at that point, when it became 6 years, I decided to share it because I'm doing something right. I said that if I don't share it with other people, I'm not doing anything good to people. It was a difficult decision. Somebody like me, which is working at HydraGreen as a professor. By the way, this presentation is nothing to do with my position at HydraGreen University. This is my own. So here I should be called Dr. Tohidi, not professor, because professor is a position that university gives to. So what I am doing here is only for education. I'm not prescribing anything, just for your own education. Please consult with your medical doctor. So a bit of history. 19th of September 2016, I woke up with a jittering cheeks. And I went to accident emergency and they said epilepsy. Then in late October, They say that it is a stroke after CT scan. And then November 2016, after MRI, they said, no, you have a tumor. And then I was referred to cancer department and neurosurgeon and my oncologist. After looking at MRI, they told me that if you do nothing, your life expectancy is 6 months. If I do surgery, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy, a maximum life of 2 years. And this is my brain. This is size of my cancer. 3.1 to 3.6 the diameter, the size. What was worrying for the neurosurgeon, they say that this too dark here in MRI, they say that the cancer has developed their own blood vessel. And when they develop their own blood vessel, they can expand and grow twice every 2 months, 2 weeks, sorry. Every 2 weeks, they can be twice the size. And I said to him, give me a bit time, because I was fasting at the time. And they said, no, I can't guarantee. So I did surgery, 2017. And here I want to take this opportunity and express my gratitude to UK NHS. They provided me with best in the class, very professional, kind, and compassionate. My surgery was a difficult one. And basically, to make sure they don't minimize the damage, they wanted to make me awake during surgery. They wanted to basically, after opening the head, they bring me and do the surgery while I was awake. They teach me and process the surgery. And I believe that this surgery happens every 1, 2, or 2 times per year. And students were attending. So they were talking to me while they were doing surgery. After surgery, I asked, what is the cause of cancer? The answer I received was bad luck. That was not acceptable to me, because luck is something that the percentage of the luck should not change. If you buy lottery ticket, the percentage doesn't change whether you buy it today or 10 years ago or 10 years in future. Why? In case of cancer, it used to be 1 to 10. But now it is every 1 to 2 or 3 person. In fact, 2 men and 3 women. Another point, how about chimpanzee? Because they have 99% of DNA or DNA. Do, do you see increase in their cancer? The second question I ask, do I need to follow a special diet? They say, no, enjoy your life. You are not going to survive a lot. They're very frank, but make sure you eat good food, full of energy as you need it. But, you know, for my, because I was diabetic, by changing my diet, I got rid of diabetic. So it is very important what you eat. We have in English, you are what you eat. So something should have caused cancer. Mobile phone. And then what is cancer? How can we fight with, with it? So before the surgery, I did my will and power of attorney that if I die or if I'm not able to function, I had 4 projects, 1.2 million pounds per year. I have 14 PhD students. I gave it everything to my postdoc. And I was warned that I might lose control of my right hand side of my body. So radiotherapy for 6 weeks with half a dose of chemotherapy. And then chemotherapy until November 2017. But I was keeping water fasting during radiotherapy and chemotherapy. I wanted to retire from university on medical ground. But then the HR people, they told me that, maybe you don't retire because if you die during service, it is better return for your family. So I was not able to talk for 3 months. It was a good time for me to investigate. Because if you can't talk, not many people want to talk to you. And also lost the coordination between brain and hand. Forgot all the password. I forgot all spelling and still suffering. It's a good job that Microsoft has a auto correction. I'm still learning. The order of letter. Sometimes I forget letter to put. It is in my mind, but I forget to see it. Most of the time, I use my body memory. Short time memory, terrible. Some damages to some of my glands because they were not expecting to survive more than 2 years. So all the radiotherapy resulted in some damage. The skin and hair loss and texture of the skin after radiotherapy and some other embarrassing disability. So I started thinking, what is cancer? Human body is made around 100 trillion cells. I didn't know that more than half of them are non-human cells. They are from our environment. Mitochondria that create our energy has a different DNA. It's not human cell. Normal cell, after getting old, they have a signal that die. But the cancer cell don't die. And they grow out of control and they crowd out normal cell and make it very difficult for the body to operate. One point was very interesting. There is a test that they give sort of tracer sugar drink. And from that, they identify where the cancer cells are. So cancer cells are big consumer of sugar. Remember this. And also gluten. We lose 1 million cells per second. And we need to replace them. You see that our body changes all the time. The cells are changing. Gut lining every 5 days, they have changed. Liver every 10 to 16 months will change. If you have a bad liver, if you give them 10 to 16 months, it will be a new one. And other part of body the same. So imagine it is a factory. So you are going to produce 1 million cells per second. So some of these cells will be faulty. The number I've seen, depending on the age, is 10,000 faulty cells per day. It's not a lot. And nature have two mechanisms to get rid of them. One mechanism, immune system. So they need to white cell to destroy them before they crowd. And also, what I found is that we have a cycle in the past that we were hungry all the time. At that time, during hunger or fasting, the healthy cell with recycling cancer cells. So you see that this hunger and fasting, it is on our genes in a way. I'll explain a bit more later. So the question is that we see an increase in cancer. Why? The ratio of 10 to 1, beginning of previous century, has increased to 1 to 2. Are our body producing more cancer bad product? Are we producing more than 10,000 cancer cells? Or our immune system become weak or busy somewhere else? Are more cancer cells being produced, 40 cells, or they born healthy but become cancerous later? And I want to propose that one major factor that we don't go through full cycle, energy from muscle, energy from liver, and fat, burning fat. So human body DNA has not changed a lot in the last 200,000 years ago. Now, to put in perspective, assume 24,000, 100,000, 200,000 is equivalent to 24 hours. And then we were hunter-gatherer. We need to ask this question: what was the human diet at the time? What was daily life and routine at the time? Research shows that human, those who were near rivers, they were using fishing. And those far away, they were good using hunting. But they could have used nuts, seeds, vegetable, leaves, flowers, fruit, and even insect. And it was also based on availability of what is available in the season. Another point, we used to sleep early, wake up early. Most of the time, we were hungry and we used to go through food cycle. Eating, imagine that we hunt an animal, we bring them to the whole tribe and we eat, sharing it. And when it's finished, then, eating energy goes to our muscle. Some energy will go to our liver and extra is saved as fat. So energy in the muscle will be used up in 6 hours. Energy in liver will be used up in 4 hours, rough. And then the body want to use energy in the fat. Most of the time, we're very hungry and sometimes dead in winter. A lot of physical activity, running and walking, quiet, no artificial noise, the slow pace of life, the sky full of stars, sunshine, and earthing. We didn't have any shoes. We were connected to earth. And obviously, that has an important role in healthy cell. And we need to create as much as possible. We need to simulate this. Now, the three of life, universe 13.8 billions, Earth was 4.5 billions. Life on Earth started 3.5 billion to 4 billion ago, but on an environment of CO2. Until 2.8 million, some plant with photosynthesis, they produces oxygen. And the atmosphere of the Earth converted all the CO2 to oxygen. And that oxygen, because it can be burned faster, increase the speed of life. So just remember here, we used to use CO2 and move to oxygen. End of dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Human life is here 200,000 years ago. Agriculture 7,000 to 15,000 years ago. Civilization 6,000 years ago. Industrial age around 200. And recent changes around 70 years. Now, this is the food from the first cell to, so I would say these initial cells are in our body. We are relative. All these animals, we are relative. Yes. We make a mistake and we treat them as enemy. They are not enemy. I'll discuss it later. So 200,000 times zero. Agriculture, you see that, an hour ago. Civilization, 45 minutes ago. Industrial age, yeah, 1.5 minutes. And then recent, yeah, 30 seconds. So you see that bread and agriculture is our new. Now, there is huge changes in our food and frequency of eating. How many times a day we eat? Maybe the effect of frequency of eating has an effect on our health. And environment, how much poison we have in the environment. Can human evolution cope with so much changes? So, increased factors in cancer. So as we discussed, we have some random cancer cells. That's a factor, okay? But now we have so many other reasons that can cause cancers. Chemical, cigarette, pollution, smoke, X-ray, UV radiation, mobile phone, separation from nature. We are from nature, not separate. Gut microbiome, too much eating that result in leaky gut that I'll discuss later. Non-organic food, too much eating. And for some society, obviously, still people around the world do not have enough food. We use a lot of germ killer. We treat the bacteria as our enemy. The germ killer, this is my opinion. The germ killer or preservative is the main role to kill germ, can make the food live longer. It does the same in our gut. Antibiotic. Antibiotic destroy all gut microbiome. It's like you have two enemy and you will in a jungle and you use carpet bombing to kill all animals or human or whatever in the jungle, to kill that two enemy. If remember, human had a defense system by having fever. Do we get fever these days? And also little physical movement, sunshine. We are not getting enough sunshine, so we don't get vitamin D. And also, the feeling. Sugar. Sugar is the main food for cancer. Also, it will poison mitochondria. Now, immune system, we have a lot more stress. The stress means that, is there useful reaction of human or any animal to have stress? But that gives you a lot of energy to escape from enemy or fight or flight or freeze. But that used to happen once or twice per day. How about now? What a stress does is that instead of spending time to repair the body, they want to escape from danger. So there is no time for repairing body because you have a most dangerous situation at the time that you are escaping from somebody or something that can pressurize you a lot. You don't have time to repair the body or fight with cancer cells. Fast moving life. We are not built for fast moving life. The changes is very little, very recent. Not enough quality sleep. We didn't have any light in the past. 300, 200 years ago, we didn't have a lot of light. So we used to sleep much earlier. And a sleeping pattern has changed. The smoking, air pollution, too much drinking for some people. We are not giving enough time for the body to repair and chemical everywhere. One key point is the frequency of eating. What did I do? I was 85 kilograms. I was diabetic at the time. I needed to reduce my weight. I did fasting 22 hours per day. Reduce my weight from 85 to 55 or 60. If you are going to do that, please check your body mass index, BMI. try not to go below 20. Then I study about different diet. I realized that sugar is very bad. Many, as I said, it will poison mitochondria, but also is food for cancer cells. Now, initially, I was not banning. I had a dinner, having some bread or rice or pasta and fruit. I love fruit. I was not sure that they can cause cancer. So I became very healthy eating for 4 years. I was fasting at least 16 hours. But I was not, I had um, two vegetarian, and in the dinner, I was eating some bread or pasta, or bean, but fruit I was eating. Then my cancer returned. Initially in September 2022, and then very strongly in January 2023. I was supposed to go to Edinburgh and teach, and I lost the ability to talk. So I had to cancel. I did investigation, then I realized this is causing that. Then I moved to keto, but it's not fully keto at the moment. I just remove these from my food, and instead I use more oil and some meat, chicken, things like that. Then I realized that cancer can feed on glutamine, but this is not easy to remove from your diet because it's an amino acid in your body. Another important point is your view on the power of mind over body. I'm not going to discuss this a lot. Probably you have heard about quantum theory. I am new. Quantum theory is that they say that everything is possible. And what will happen depends on your visualization. If you have positive views that thinking, gratitude, and meditation, then good things will happen. And obviously, and I've seen in the internet that some people with the power of mind over a body have solved their problem. Interestingly, People say that my mother was diabetic, for example, which was the case in my case. So I have that gene. But DNA is like quantum theory, in my simple understanding. DNA is like quantum theory. Everything is possible. But RNA is what depends on the environment. DNA is like a stem cell. Everything is possible. With a stem cell, you can make different parts of your body. But RNA is the environment which decide what is possible, what will happen, RNA. Also, the effect of mind. Dr. Emoto did very famous experiment that look at the effect of your human mind on water. Love and gratitude, that will be the shape of frozen crystal of ice. Disgust, that will be shape of ice crystal. And some people also reported two pieces of, for example, an orange, one expressing love, the other one hate. The loved one will stay younger. And because human body is more than 70% is water, your thinking play a major role. So I can talk about this a lot, but you are the master of your word. Think positively and trust yourself. So there is a big debate in the cancer research. The a lot of people in the past thinking that it is a genetic disease and you cannot avoid it. And to manage, only can manage it. Yes, there are, to my opinion, there are some of them the same. For Angelina Jolie, he did the surgery, but me approaching cancer from a non-expert viewpoint, I have been convinced a large part of it is metabolic. And there are very interesting tests and experiments by Professor C. Fry. So basically, mitochondria that create the energy, they can use CO2 route or oxygen would. When they are cancerous, they can use CO2 route. And they mainly feed on sugar or something that can be converted to sugar very quickly, but not fat. In the human history, when we finish the food, we go for hunting. There was no refrigeration. At that time, we didn't have any food. Maybe for a week, we didn't have any food. What we were using? If this ability of converting fat to energy was not there, we didn't have any chance of surviving. So healthy cell can use fat. So an effective way of fighting with cancer is fasting. And I have seen some evidence with fasting, they got rid of their cancer or minimize the size. But that is if you have enough weight. But you can use also ketogenic. And this is the food that is mainly is on fat. And cancer cell cannot use fat. Or combination, that's ideal. Fasting and ketogenic. Another very important thing that encourage us to do fasting because healthy cells are very powerful. So they can recycle cancer cells. That is a mechanism in our body. If there is not enough food, healthy cell can attack cancerous cell and recycle them. So you see that we thought by getting rid of hunger, we have done good thing to the people. No, we have not done anything good for human. So you ideally you want to fast for at least 12 hours, but check with your doctor. Don't go immediately. Increase the time, even 5 minutes per day. As I said, I reached 22 hours and even 3 days fasting. But my BMI is very low, so I don't use fasting a lot, but still I'm fasting 16 hours per day. I believe the reason I was fasting play a major role on my survival, and that the chemotherapy and radiotherapy did not hurt me as much as it's hurting other people. For example, chemotherapy, the way it works, any fast growing cell, they will attack. And normally cancer cells are growing very fast. But normal cell also growing very fast. So if you fast during chemotherapy or radiotherapy, damage to your healthy cell would be less. Remember this. But obviously, some people are using this ability of using fat, and they need to gradually to revive this ability. My current daily routine, positive mind. I know despite damage to my brain, I know that I can find the answer. And that is the new target in my life. Sleep early, 9 to 10 p.m., but wake up very early. Gratitude, gratitude, and mediation. Um, Gratitude, there is always a lot of things that we can have gratitude. The fact that we don't need somebody else. The fact that, we have good children or good parents, the weather is good or the weather is bad, all of this to wake up. So many people do not wake up. Be gratitude is is for your own health, and give yourself some time for yourself every day. Quiet, focus. What is the best thing you can do that day? What is the best thing you can do to help human being? That's very important. Light exercise is very important that you walk, exercise is part of our genes. I do now water fasting at least 16 to 20 hours. Normally from 6 p.m. the night before to 13 or 14 p.m. the next day. Keep a diary. It's very helpful to follow the way your brain was working. I need to do that because I forget a lot of things. Touch the earth. Where we can touch the earth. Barefoot walking on grass or just standing. Shores, sea, that is also connected to the earth. Just touching trees, because tree is connected to earth. At this half an hour, you need to contact. Take care of your teeth. Unfortunately, I realized this late. Flossing your teeth. This is secret breaker in electrical system in your body. Avoid junk food. Go for healthy food. We need to encourage organic food. At the moment, organic foods are very expensive. But if more people encourage using organic food, they gradually become cheaper. And in many cases, we don't need so much food. When we were hunter-gatherer, were we fat? We were not. We couldn't survive if we were fat. We couldn't go hunting. We couldn't escape. Remember, our body the genes belong to 200,000 years ago. So you are what you eat. And plants and animals that you are eating, they are also what they eat. So they have to eat healthy food for you to have healthy food. They are not separate from each other. A lot of things are based on financial reasons, unfortunately. As I mentioned, in September 2022, the taste in my mouth was changing. Then I felt weakness in my right hand, losing full control of my right leg. In January, I noticed that the cancer is back. I lost ability to talk. I changed to something semi to ketogenic by basically avoiding anything that can be converted to sugar very quickly and fruit. Now the system of cancer has been reduced. Obviously, you see that I have disability, especially if I don't get enough sleep or I became want to talk quickly. I cannot talk properly. But thanks God, still I'm okay. Then I managed to go back to Edinburgh and do the teaching. Now, the very effective method to make his cancer cell weaker is by denying their food. Remember, they eat sugar. In the last MRI, the size of cancer cell was the same size, and to me was smaller. So I'm approaching, I'm approaching 7 years now. And if you are healthy, every part of your body will be healthy. Human body should be able to cure itself if it is used. A lot more to talk. This is the normal cell. This is mitochondria. Here, two of them are shown. And they can be damaged. Various reasons can cause damage, including sugar. And that makes the cell cancerous. But also radiation and other things can be also the same. One important thing that is happening these years is gut leaking. What is gut leaking? In our digestive system, there is a very thin barrier between our food that we are digesting and the blood vessel. Each time that we eat, there is some wear and tear on the gut. For example, bread, gluten, some people cannot have it. So if this layer of barrier damage, the poison that is in our digestive system want to go to the blood. But you cannot have it. And that is the main reason a lot of people have sensitivities for some food. So what we need to do, what make the gut lining healthy? Time and good sleep. So that fasting give time to your gut lining to repair and good sleep. too much eating is not good for us. We are not supposed to be too fat. So this is gut lining. This is a good gut lining. This is our digestive system. Everything is here. Our food is here. And a good gut lining only let the food to pass. But leaky gut will let all the rubbish in our digestive system to pass. Now, the white cell, they want to protect human. So they become busy here. And they don't have enough force to fight that random cancer cell. They are busy here. I want to propose that we have 2 or 3 skin. At the moment, we think that this is our skin. Our digestive system is also a skin. In our digestive system, there are more cells, more than our body. They take the responsibility of digesting the food. But also they are connected to your brain. And they tell you what you like. So it takes exercise and determination to choose good food. And also the time of eating. The time of eating, because to repair the system, and the type of food, you need to see what is good for you. You can, once you change your food, your gut biome will change. And then you will like that food. Decide what is good for you and try it. Force it. Avoid sugar. Even our breathing system is also can be regarded as skin. So take care of this system. Do not smoke. I have smoked for 18 years. That caused cancer. I gave up in 26 March 1994. The gut biome causes come from mother in normal birth. When the baby is passing through birth channel. So here we need to make sure if you have child on cesarean system, we make sure some fluid from mother pass to the child for building healthy microbiome. It is microorganism, bacteria, fungi, viruses, but they are only inside our digestive system. And that will also depend the environment or the food that we eat. You see that comes back to the point I mentioned. We are part of the nature. If we treat the nature as enemy, then we destroy these in our body. People develop different allergy. At the end, if you kill one germ in your body, in the environment, that germ will be killed in you. We are connected to nature. If we kill all animals or bacteria in the nature, that is end of us. We will die. That's bacteria help the digestion and destroy harmful bacteria and help control your immune system. We in the past, we used to be a lot exposed to the environment. Up to 6 years, 5 years, I didn't have any shoes. That makes my body very resilient. It's not a good idea to clean everything. Some scientists recently said that it's good to eat some dirt. For example, B12, for people who do not eat any meat, red meat, they don't have enough B12. How about in the past? B12 is in the soil, in the root of vegetable. In the past, we didn't clean as accurate as none now. So B12 was coming to us even if you were vegetarian. Now to have to take a supplement. We didn't need vitamin D supplement because we were in the sunshine. But now a lot of corona epidemic because of lack of vitamin D, because that control our immune system. Microbiome depend on environment and what we eat. Our skin, gut, and perhaps lung, and the microbiome experience a different environment. Now, new environment changed a lot. In the last 50 years, we have lost 70% of animals in the world. Maybe that's the reason we have so much disease. The key point that they are part of us and we are part of them. They are not our enemy. Aren't we destroying their and our world? I would say yes. Human race goes back to 200,000 years ago. At 20,000 years ago, at least the people remain is from one woman, around 6 men. Any other people, their gene did not survive. So 10,000 years ago, we were around 5 million. 4,800 years ago, we had 50 million. 480 years ago, we have 500 million. 1986, we were 5 billion. Now we are 8 billion. So we are the most powerful living people in the earth. If we are the most powerful, aren't we responsible for weaker animals? Imagine that is family. You are the most powerful person in your family. Do you go and destroy everybody? While you consider their existence is good for crucial for your existence. We are responsible for them. They are not our enemy. Aren't we responsible for their environment, their water, their earth, and the pollution? They are inside us, on our skin, on our digestive system, on our breathing system. They are part of us. And we are part of them. They are not our enemy. We will become weaker if they get weaker. And we die if they die. In an ideal world, this is my idealism. We need to protect the environment. Green, trees, jungle, water, and air. They belong to everybody on Earth, not human. Be, this is my recommendation. Be at peace with the wild animal and give them freedom of movement. That's because we put all barrier, they cannot move around. That's why we are losing fertile soil. I read that we can only harvest 60 or 70,000 years. We need to emphasize this to our children. Be kind to animals. Be kind to greens. Ideally, I get very sad when I see an animal has been in collision with a car. It is their right to move. So human road, they should be either above or below theirs, not to interrupt human free movement. Their destruction will damage us. We need to replicate life 200,000 years ago. Our body is based on full cycle of energy, eating, using a muscle, converting glycogen in our liver, and then fat. We need to go this cycle. This is I believe, in addition, the defense system of body, this section, when we go to fat, we recycle cancer cell as well. But this is something that I want to spend time after 45 years working in oil industry. Whatever is left from my life, I want to spend time on this. So I remember, remind you the time, industrial age, recent time. In summary, if you are healthy, what to do not to get cancer? Positive mind, meditation, quietness, try to simulate the condition from 200,000 years ago. Think about what they eat at the time. Most of the time hungry. Physical activity, running, walking, quietness, no artificial noise, the slow pace of life, and the full sky of the stars. That give you a perspective of how big the world is. I remember we used to sleep on the roof of my auntie's house and looking at the sky. Beautiful. Sunshine. Spend some time in sunshine. Earthing, barefoot. Sleeping early, waking up early. Remember, sugar is a poison. Support other lives. Minimize your negative effect or negative effect to the environment and try to repair the previous damage. This will minimize the risk of cancer for you. If, I wish now not, but if you have cancer, fasting, looking at your BMI, absolutely no sugar, absolutely, absolutely. And also, nothing can easily be converted to sugar if you have cancer. Rice, bread, potato, pasta, fruit, most fruit, and that will you will deprive cancer cells from their food. Is glutamine is another that there are some suggestions. If considering there are reason for cancer has increased, maybe this is not enough. If it's not enough, please contact me because there are other techniques as well. So my wishes aim. In my case, cancer was a blessing for me for various reasons. And in future, if I have time, maybe I'll discuss it. I want to use this extra life that I have been given to promote peace, kindness, and love. We came naked to this world and we will go out naked. Peace and kindness and love to humankind, animal, green, and everything on earth and beyond. I say my gratitude for giving me health to talk to you, communicate with you, and thank you for your attention. I hope my life, whatever is left, will have a positive effect from this webinar, lecture, and hopefully books. I don't have the previous energy and memory and things like that, but I want to do my best. I hope our children can see the night sky. I hope that few nights per year we have all light off and children can see the sky. And I hope you will help me in my new mission. I formed the HydraGreen, water and green, Hydra, water, green, environment. This means environment that needs protection. And that at the bottom here, organic, healthy, and happy. Back to nature. Healthy life, reduce patient suffering. That's my idea or my aim. Reduce the load from medical system. Therefore, we can use that money for good causes, recovering the environment and happy earth. I want to do some acknowledgement. I'm grateful for my line manager and head of school, although they don't mention their them, and for giving me sabbatical leave. I'm in the Netherlands at the moment, but I've been working on this for the last 6 years. Not full time, because I need to work as well. And I've got the confidence to share it with you. And if their help in going to sabbatical leave gave me an opportunity to focus my attention. My colleagues at Edinburgh University and all colleagues in HR, human resources, my colleagues at Utrecht University, my colleague at HydraGreen. HydraGreen initially was formed for green energy and climate change and net zero, but we expanded this healthy well-being, living in harmony, and you can contact us on this number in the email. We created several, around 90 videos in social media. You all agree that knowledge will not be reduced by sharing. It will be increased. So at the moment, most of them are Persian, but this is all. We started English from yesterday. So we will put them English one in the social media. And I asked Sarah to send this to you. And I want to thank my colleagues, Mohsen, as a project manager. He supported me anyway, whatever he could support. And I really am grateful. The director of these films is Ali Reza. He also, with my nagging all the time, and social media, Sarah, that organized the meeting today and many other meetings. Webinar, Shahab, and Sarah is more responsible for English webinar and Shahab in the Persian. Some of these videos, you see that we have a panel asking question and discussion. Hamid, Aliha, Mohsen, and Ali Reza. We have Muhammad Ali with American accent. So some of the videos are there. And technical, Muhammad Javad is supporting us. Too much talking. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Tohidi. That was great. Before we finish, does anyone have any questions? You can unmute and ask your question or put it in the chat.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, Doctor, I have a question. Thank you very much for the talk, and I think it was a good sharing session. I just want to ask your opinion for all these years, your experiences. What do you what are your projections or advices into the future with this fourth industrialization advances? How do you think we can reconcile this so that we can reconnect to nature within the boundaries of the fourth industrialization?
Yeah.
Especially,
Yes, sorry.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Sorry.
Yeah. This is a problem. And it is like a cat that escaped the net. And the best thing is knowledge. So I ask everybody, if you think that this presentation was useful, open your mind to what is happening, because I didn't know that. When I investigated, I realized that we are killing ourselves. We used to have, a lot of wild animals around us.
Yeah.
We don't have, they are not our enemy. They are, in fact, all life belong to them as well. The earth belongs to them. So the first thing is that knowledge. And at the moment, we are trying to promote our way of thinking and seeing things. Thank you, Pablo. And it can start with this limited number. We are doing our best. We made around 80 videos, and we are going to make video of today's lecture as well.
Okay, that's nice.
And you do the same. You do the same. If you could, please, Sarah Khanum, send this social media to every participant. We send maybe a questionnaire on the quality of the webinar and name of this public media. Try to share it so more people come and see. And that is the way the thing will change. Maybe one day, for example, an oil company has asked me to talk about my idea. This is gradually will increase, and I am dedicated to have another four years to survive to beat the record of 10 years. I am sure I want to spend more time on this mission. Kind to animal, kind to tree, clean water. It's their water as well. It's not all water. The environment is not rubbish bin. That whatever we don't use, put it in the environment. Okay? Sorry if I got emotional, but ignorance is blessing. But when you see all these connected, you see that you cannot be ignorant anymore.
Thank you.
Hi, Bahman.
Hi, Hassan.
Hello, yes. How are you?
Good. Thank you for attending.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to see you because I know you are a very busy man.
Thank you.
Mm.
Well, personally, I'm honored to be your student at PUT in Iran and also collaborating with you in PetroTeach. And you are a well-known expert in oil and gas industry, and everyone knows you very well. And I admire actually your braveness to share your personal experience in this matter. So hope oil industry will benefit from your experience both in the Academy of Oil and Gas Industry and also in the cancer area for a long time, and hope we will see you in the coming events like conferences, read your papers, and also benefited from your experience. Thank you very much, Bahman.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you, Hassan, that if we follow healthy behavior, 90% of our disease will be okay.
Yes. I
Not
agree.
just cancer, everything. Fatty liver, everything. Everything. This is my belief. 90%.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Totally agree.
Thank you.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
you have a very strong company. Maybe you
Thank
can
you. Thank you.
also promote this in your social media and things like that. I don't know, they're completely different, but we need to promote this.
Exactly.
If you are convinced what I'm saying is correct, you need to promote it.
Sure. With the help of you guys,
Yeah.
we will promote each other.
Yeah.
And but thank you very much. So
Thank you very much.
I will call you later on.
Yeah.
To discuss
Thank you.
a lot of things.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bahman.
Any more questions? If not, I want to thank you for your time and energy, for listening to me, and apologize for the delay to start. And wish you all the best, and I hope from you in future. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Bahman.
Bye.
Bye bye.